So today's video is a warning message, particularly to those small freight brokers and truck drivers who have less than 10 years in business. Some of you are asleep at the wheel. You're not paying attention to what's going on in the current economic environment. I don't know if you saw it, but just back in March, the Federal Reserve, that's the central bank for the United States, just raised interest rates for the first time since 2018. And there are penciled in 6 additional rate hikes that's going to happen this year. And this will increase your cost to borrow money, may very well increase the cost of the credit you already have extended to you, because when interest rates go up, guess what? Credit card interest rates, they'll go up as well. So we want to be aware. I'm not trying to scare you with this video, but I am trying to make you aware of what is getting ready to happen and how I feel like it's best for me to navigate these turbulent times. So I simply want to bring that and share that with you. If you see something you like, feel free to take it and use it for yourself. If not, pass it by and keep it moving. So why are interest rates rising now? Well, a part of it, in a nutshell, is because it's time for interest rates to rise. You see, we've been in a zero or close to zero interest rate environment since 2018. And even before that time, 2008 to 2015, that was a relatively low interest rate period. So it's time for interest rates to rise. And another part of it is because of inflation. Right now, inflation is at 8.5%. That's unprecedented. We haven't seen those types of numbers in over 40 years. So now when you have inflation rising like that, interest rates have to go up. The central bank, the Federal Reserve, increased the interest rate because they're trying to control inflation. And the purpose of raising rates is simply to slow the economy down, encourage less spending, less borrowing, so that you can slow the economy down and supply can catch back up with demand. Right now, demand is outweighing supply, and that's making prices go up, inflation go up. So to control that, you raise interest rates, make money more expensive. The thinking is people will borrow less and spend less, and things catch up and we get back on track. But here's the problem. You don't know how high inflation will go, so you don't know how high the rate hikes will go. They could continue to go higher. And if it does, and you have credit extended to you, then it's very likely that that credit, that money will cost you more than it cost you previously. And it could cause cash flow issues. For me right now, if I borrow money, I have a plan for that money. I have a plan to go out and produce more dollars with the dollars that I'm borrowing. If you don't have a sure plan, then I wouldn't suggest that you borrow money right now. I would suggest that you hold on to your money and you build your cash reserve. Now, if you have to borrow money, if you feel like it's necessary for you to borrow money because you can use it to make more money, then all means go for it. But I would be very cautious right now as to borrowing any money. Cash reserve, cash to me right now is better than not having cash. I know in an inflationary environment, it is probably better, at least people say it's better not to have cash because inflation is eating away your cash. If it's at 8.5%, then you have 8.5% less money in cash. And I know everybody talks about the power of leverage, the power of being able to leverage your credit. They talk about that like that's almost a superhuman strength. Well, I believe what's just as great of a strength is the power of cash, cold, hard cash, to be able to go out and buy something for your business, whether that be to advance your business technologically or to buy something else or to bring on employees, whatever that cash might be for. Cold, hard cash is powerful as well. And the reason why it's so powerful is because you don't have to pay interest on the things that you purchase. You purchase it one time without anything coming after that. Whereas when you borrow money, there's interest attached to the money that you borrow. If you would spend your time, and I know it's going to take longer to build cash. See, that's why we don't build cash reserves, because it takes longer. It takes a little bit more work. But if you would focus your time, your energy and effort on building your cash reserves, I believe it would put you in the best position moving forward to be a successful freight brokerage or trucking business. What credit allows for you to do is to spend more money than you actually make. And anytime you're spending more money than you're making, that's always dangerous. And it's especially dangerous, I believe, in the current economic environment that we're in. So if you are deciding to borrow money, just make sure that you have a plan for the money that you're borrowing. Don't just go out and borrow money right now. I am encouraging, and what I am doing for myself is getting out of debt, getting out of business and personal debt. Now, I'm going to keep a little business debt because that's how my business is configured. I will have some business debt. But as far as personal debt is concerned, I'm getting further and further out of personal debt. Now, I still have some personal debt. I have a 1% utilization rate on my overall credit. So I'm not at any time right now going to increase that by a whole lot. If I do go out and get credit, I have a plan to utilize that credit to make more money. Now, that doesn't always mean that it's going to turn out that way. That's why I think it's something that you should pay very close attention to and weigh it. Take a look at it. Don't just jump into this decision. Make sure that you have a use that is going to turn out in your favor for the money that you borrow. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. Get out of debt, get out of debt, get out of debt. Cash is king, even in an inflationary environment. I wish you the very best in your life and business. If you're interested in learning more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series, and I titled it, How the Load Movement Process Works. It'll give you a chance to come into the office with me and watch me on video as I move loads, talk to shippers and carriers to give you a better understanding of how this business works before you come into it. And then if you want to know, okay, Brandon, how do you guys go out and get the customers that you actually do business with? I have you there as well. I'll leave a free video right here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top because the bottom is much too crowded.